starting to roll in already. Oh, damn, we've got 6 people. 7.
We are live. Sweet. What's going on, everybody?
Sweet. How we doing, chat? Hello, Chloe. Give us a wave when you join. Let me know you're in the chat. We want to see those hands. Put my own hand in the chat. I'll just let some people join in. Give it a couple minutes. Hey Hannah, how we doing? Everyone's joining in. Awesome. 14 people on Instagram. How many? We got 4 on YouTube as well. Sweet. I'll just give it a little bit more time before we kick it off. We got Ruben on YouTube.
Oh,
what's going on, Rubes?
My nephew is on the line. I like that. They can hear me too, right?
Yeah, they should be able to hear, I think.
Oh, awesome.
We got Pastor Derek in the house online with us. Going to be doing some awesome Q&A time. So we have a Slido code. There he is. There's Derek. We have a Slido code. You should have got the message through the week. The Slido code. Send any questions there. Otherwise, I'll chuck it in the chat now for you guys. That right there is the Slido code in the chat. Awesome. We got 6. How many people? 5. Got a decent amount of people. What's going on, Resilient Youth? All right. We got Pastor Derek all the way from Melbourne. He was. If you weren't on camp with us, he was the one doing all the amazing preaching, giving us the word. So great to have you back, Derek.
Honored to be on board with you guys tonight.
So good.
Apparently there's an echo. Is it not on me, but apparently one of the youth in the chat there's an echo while I'm speaking.
Dang, that's a technical problem.
Don't worry.
I wouldn't know.
Let's report that to Sam. Sam's live now in the chopper. Sam, what do you see? Guys, in the chat, put some love for Sam. She's doing an amazing job behind the scenes and making all this live for you guys. Come on, let's give her some love.
Sam is amazing. We even got some non-youthies in the chat. That's awesome. Great to have you.
Oh, it's better now. We're on the yes. Sam, oh my goodness. If only people. So you even got a shout out in the chat, Sam. Good job, Sam. Go, Sam. Oh.
All right. I reckon we'll kick things off. We're going to do a quick little icebreaker with me and Derek and the chat.
Oh.
We're going to be playing a quick little game called, you probably all know it, 2 Truths and 1 Lie.
I love this game. Love this game.
So me and Derek have prepared 3 facts about ourselves. One of them is a lie that you in the chat have to guess. So, yes, going to be awesome. How about I kick it off? I'll kick it off with my facts, and you guys in the chat have to guess which one is the lie. All right. First fact is I have traveled to Thailand for a mission trip. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is I touched an electric fence when I was in grade 4 at school. and I got electrocuted. That's fact 2. And fact number 3 is my YouTube channel with over 260 subscribers got deleted from YouTube in 2017. So put it in the chat. Which fact do you think is the lie? Number 1, I went on a mission trip in Thailand. Number 2, I touched an electric fence in grade 4. Or number 3, my YouTube channel got deleted. Let me see those numbers in the chat. Derek's guessing number 3. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty famous with the YouTube thing, so. we got some 2s, some 3s. Got a couple of 1s in there. Okay, interesting. I'll give you 2 seconds, 10 seconds to put your numbers in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is in fact number 1. I haven't been on a missions trip to Thailand.
Oh, what?
I know. I really want to go.
I feel robbed.
To go on a missions trip.
I feel robbed with that, bro. I feel robbed.
I'm sorry. I had to do it. I had to make up a good lie because everyone would expect me to go on a missions trip. All right. Only 3 people got that one true. One of them including my sister. So surprising. All right. There was actually a missions trip that I could have gone on in year 10, I think it was. Except I didn't have the money for it. So that kind of sucks. All right. Now here over to Derek.
Oh, is it my turn, bro?
Your time to shine, man.
Oh, let's go. All right, peeps. I got 3 killer ones, and you got to guess which one isn't true. Are you ready? Come on, put it in the chat. Are you ready?
In the chat, guys.
Come on. If you're ready, let's do this. My first one is I used to be a dancer.
Oh.
That's my first one. One.
I like it.
The second one, because I'm a bit more contemporary now, is that I'm a vegan. That's my second one. And my third one is I used to have an afro. And as you can see, age hasn't been kind to me. Guys, this is what ministry does to you. See, right here. So yeah, you gotta put it in the chat. Which one is it? Is it I used to be a dancer? That's number 1. Number 2 is that I'm a vegan, and number 3 is I used to have an afro. That's 3. Well, come on, people.
My guess is 2. I reckon you're an amazing dancer, and I'm assuming that you probably did have an afro back in the day, back in your funky disco day.
Yeah,
so
that's
what hit the dance floor with your mad looking groovy afro.
Let's make something very straight here, Ethan.
Yeah.
Funky disco days. How old do you think I am, my brother?
I mean, I go to funky disco.
That's all right, bro. I'll take it.
All right. Some people saying 2.
So good.
2 and 3. Only one person says 1. Interesting.
Well, we've got a lot of 2s here. What's the countdown on? Are we on 5?
We've got 5 seconds.
Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can I get a drum roll, somebody? And for all of those who put number 2, come on, how can you do life without meat? I am not a vegan. God bless you if you're a vegan. There is a special section in heaven for you. But we love you, we honor you. But hey, do me a favor, Sammy. Put it up on screen now in the chat somewhere. You will see there is proof that I used to have an afro. It's going to be here on the screen for you somewhere. Sammy, using your magic.
There it is.
Put it up. Can you see it? Can you see it somewhere?
It's right on that screen.
There it. Oh
my peak performance right there.
Oh my goodness, people. That was me at around 19, 20 years old. So only 5 years ago. That's me. That's me. That's me. Come on, me. Yes, you can laugh. Yes, you can all you want at my expense. So here. All right. Let's put a vote in the chat. Should I bring it back? Should I bring back?
Surely bring it back.
Should I bring back the throw?
That would be something I would want to see.
Put it in the chat. Let's see how many people we get that I should bring it back.
They're all saying yes, surely.
Hey, but Ethan, between me and you, bro, what was a nightmare was actually taking care of that thing.
Yeah, wow.
It may look awesome, but it's a whole heap of hair to take care of.
That's very true. I have had my hair pretty long, but not in afro form. It just gets all fuzzy and just down. But yeah, an afro would be a beast. Actually, if I can get my, I've got a little thing, a photo. I cosplayed, or what? I guess I dressed up as Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh yes, I love that.
Yeah, I dressed up as Napoleon Dynamite from I don't know if you can see it.
Oh yeah, so good.
So there's my afro.
Is that your real hair or no? That's your.
That was just a wig, but
wow.
I mean,
you pulled it off really good, bro.
Yeah, I pulled it off. All right. That was fun. All right, I reckon we're going to get into some quick announcements for this term. I'm just going to give you guys a quick rundown on how this term is going to work, because as you guys all know, with this whole coronavirus thing, we're all locking down again, possibly going to stage 4. So this term is going to be online. But with that said, we've learned a lot from last term, and we're willing to step up our game this term, and we're going to be posting a lot of stuff on Instagram, giving you guys a lot more things throughout the week to engage in. Every Wednesday, we're going to be posting some content, whether that's a video or even an event that you guys can join in on. It'll be targeted at specific groups in our youth groups, so not everyone will like certain weeks, but we would love to have you guys join in and participate on those nights. We'll be advertising those on Instagram and sending you messages for that. But next week we have, for the gamers out there, we have a Fortnite tournament on Wednesday. So it's going to be so good. We're going to be dropping in on the battle bus, seeing who will take out the victory. There'll be some prizes for the winners, and yeah, so if you guys are keen on joining in on the Fortnite tournament, make sure to message me, or can you message the Resilient Youth page on Instagram, and we'll get you guys hooked up and into the games. So yeah, with that said, I reckon we kick it off with the Q&A. What do you say, Derek?
Come on, let's do it, buddy.
All right. First question I have for you
Fire away,
is, what are you doing to get through these tough times of coronavirus?
Well, you didn't muck around, bro. You went straight for the top.
No, straight for it.
Wow, I absolutely love that. Hey, guys, look, before I start answering some questions, can you do us the honor and the favor? Take a moment right now on whatever platform that you utilize to connect with your friends. Send a link, send whatever you got to send
100%.
to get them on this chat right now. Whether you got to use an Insta message, whatever you got to use, jump on, because this is going to help them move forward in this difficult season. Can we do that? Come on, Resilient Youth. Whack it in the chat. I'm on. I'm in. If you're in, say I'm in.
Invite your friends to this. Send them the link right now so we can get them to hear Derek's amazing answers to these questions. We've also got a slider open, so if you guys want to ask questions, we'll be answering after a little bit. So make sure to put, and they're all anonymous as well, so you can put your questions in there and we'll answer them after. So yeah.
Awesome.
So first question was, what are you doing to get through these tough times of coronavirus?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, acknowledging the fact that these are challenging times. Whether you're a young person, whether you're an adult, whether you're a young adult, whether you're an elderly person, no one in our lifetime currently has ever lived through this time. But there's something really practical at the church that I'm a part of, Lifehouse Church. I actually run our internship, our college, and Sam's going to put it up in the chat for you. Something practical that we got to do as a college is what's called the Holistic Investment Challenge. And it's simply, the idea is that every single day as a college during lockdown with our students, we're investing in our body, our soul, and our spirit to keep ourselves healthy. And here's the goal. The goal is that we would exit lockdown way better than we entered. The gap between, personally for me, the gap between the first lockdown and the second lockdown, I really took a knock. I'm naturally motivated and driven, but I felt like someone, and young person, you may be on this chat right now and you can totally relate to me, and put it in the chat if you agree. I felt like someone extracted, like got a syringe and pulled out all my energy, pulled out all my motivation, all my drive. It was foreign to me because I'm naturally driven. And this challenge has really been helping me stay focused and stay healthy. And, I'm sure leaders, Sammy, you might be able to get it to the guys a little bit later if they want a copy of that. That's something really practical. It's a practical tool you can use to stay healthy holistically throughout this for this season of lockdown.
So good. Awesome. Yeah, we'll send that. If you want that picture, we can send you the link or give you that through direct message. So just let us know, because that's super helpful for. I'm probably going to be using it. Super helpful for just to get through this time, because I know definitely last lockdown I was struggling heaps. So yeah, definitely good to get on that. Next question we have. Now I understand that you're a chaplain as well as a pastor.
Yep.
So what would you say to everyone watching tonight, just to encourage them?
Let me just do a quick vote here, and in the chat, I want you to be honest, open, and transparent. I know that can be difficult in times like this. Is how many of you have been struggling with mental health? Because I'm going to be the first one to raise my hand. If you've had some thoughts that kind of wouldn't normally be there, have you noticed in isolation that it's the inner voices that seem to speak the loudest? It's like things that weren't there before, because you're there, like, kind of meditating on your own thoughts, stirring. Like, I know for me, it's been super challenging because I'm sitting there and like, what the heck is going on in between my ears? Because my brain is just is working overtime. And I think it's important to acknowledge that. But here's my encouragement to you guys. One of the things that you need to be doing in this season, I fully believe this, is that you need to be fighting for connection and conversation. Now, I know we can't meet together like we'd always meet. I was saying it to someone today. There is something that transpires, something that transacts when you're in person with someone. Like right now, Ethan, like, let's be real, guys. I'm here right now sitting on a lounge, on a couch, in my slides. Come on, but you wouldn't know that unless I lifted my leg up to the screen. So there's things that we can't get over a screen, although I praise the living Jesus for technology because it's made connection viable during this season, right?
100%.
But the problem is that often we can be in these connections, but it can be absent of conversation.
Yeah.
Because you don't because you're not necessarily going to say the things that you need to say because you're concerned about what the other person is going to think about you, what the other person is going to say about you. Guys, I'm telling you now, this is not the time to shrink back when it comes to connection and conversation, and you need to fight for it. You need to fight for it. So we need to stay connected, even though we may be forced to be apart physically.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, I've definitely found that when I'm just chilling, gets very lonely in isolation. You just got your family, and they can get pretty annoying sometimes.
That's true.
So definitely, just sending people a message every now and then, just having a conversation definitely lightens up.
Try having kids, bro.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like for a guy like me, in this pocket of what we call lockdown, home has become my place of residence. So the place where I sleep, I live, I eat, and so on. it's become my education center for my son, but it's also become my workspace.
Yeah. Wow.
So all of those things, you would go and you would have respite because you would go to a different location. Whereas now it's all in the one space. So you know what? Do yourselves a favor, guys. Be really kind to yourselves and to the other people that live in your household.
Yeah.
Just give them the extra grace.
100%. All right. Now, most of these people in the chat are in high school.
Yep.
How do you carry out hope? So when we go back to high school or even online, how do you carry out the hope into the high school?
Well, I mentioned before in that last question about the need to fight for connection and conversation. I'm going to ask the chat. I'm going to ask the people online another honest question because I think it's helpful conversation. Even though I may not be able to hear you, I can hear your heart in the chat. How many of you have honestly even struggled, even though you may have had more time in lockdown? How many of you have struggled to engage in your relationship with God? Just be straight up. Just be honest. There is no judgment here. Just be real. Put it in the chat. How many of you have really struggled? I'm going to be straight up. I'm a pastor and a chaplain. And you know why? Because even though there's more time, there's this lack of motivation. There's this dryness. There's this challenge to actually want to engage. But here is another thing I've had to be really diligent about. And, you know, the Holistic Investment Challenge has really helped this, is the fact that I've wanted to stay connected to Jesus via conversation. So in terms of how do I carry his hope, I've got to make sure I'm connected to the one who is that hope.
Yeah.
If I'm going to go into the school and I'm supposed to be a representative or an ambassador, maybe some of you guys have heard the word an ambassador, especially a lot of political talk right now. If I was to be an ambassador for Australia and go into a foreign nation, there is an assumption that I actually know about my nation that I'm representing. So when you go into your high school, you are an ambassador for Jesus.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's hard to be an ambassador for someone that you don't know. So I'm being really diligent to make sure I'm staying engaged in my relationship with Jesus, because that's the first thing I want to be. So when I step into the school, that I'm actually carrying the hope that people are looking for. Now, I'm not talking about preaching to people. I'm talking about being an ambassador for him.
Yeah. Yeah, so good. Awesome. Now,
Ethan, can I tell a quick story?
Yeah, of course.
I think this is really cool. So let me give you a practical expression of what this looks like, guys. So every day when I go to the school, I have a very, very simple prayer that you can use. You can steal this prayer if you want. It's not special to me, right? And the prayer goes something like this. Jesus, send me people today who want to know you. You know, the Bible actually says that all things have been created by him and for him. So people are desperate for Jesus. They're just trying to find the life that he provides in other things, right? Wow. Yeah. So here I am in the school on Monday. So this week. So this is not like a story from 7 years ago. This is real time this week's story. Yeah. And I'm going around praying that prayer, and I actually encounter a teacher. She was because at our school, because of lockdown and all that sort of stuff, there's only year 11 and 12s at the school, like as most of you would know. And this teacher was in a classroom in the back corner, and I walk in, I start having a chat with her. And all I did is I started to, as God is speaking to me and she's speaking to me, I just started to listen to where she's at. I very quickly learned that her value was in her work, yet she's got a husband and a young daughter. So I started to just ask her about her values and what does she actually see for her life. By the end of that conversation, she was so thankful. I go back to my office. I get this long email just saying, thank you so much for taking the time to have a chat. And it's actually causing me now to question my values, because and she goes, if I'm going to be honest, I'm saying I'd value work more than my family. And that simply came by Jesus, send me people that want to know you. Now, I didn't say nothing about Jesus, God, or church, but I chose to be the ambassador.
Yeah. That's so good.
So I hope that encourages you guys. You can do that in your school, by the way.
Yeah, I definitely definitely when I was at uni it would have been like early last term at the start of the year, I was definitely trying to be that ambassador in my uni. Although I didn't have many friends, the friends I did have, I definitely wanted to make an impact in their life, just to be able to tick that clock around to them getting to know Jesus more. So yeah.
Awesome, bro.
All right. So I know it's true that Pastor Ron can bench press more than you.
Way more than me, bro.
But he can't seem to grow a beard. What's up with that?
Come on, bro. Look at this bad boy. Hey, this is like 1.5. I think 1.5 years now. I've been growing this bad boy, getting it trimmed once a month. When my son gets a fade, I get this bad boy in, and I'm pretty confident he can't grow an afro either.
I wish I could grow a beard. I'm just baby faced.
Maybe get a few of the youth leaders, lay hands on your face, bro. Just to social distance, lay hands. But you know what I mean.
Spiritual growth. Get that
on
my face.
Get that thing going.
All right. Now, last question I have for you is: how important is it to get to church and youth group through this time?
Oh, bro, honestly, guys, if there are some things in life, and especially like, look, I'm nearly 40 now, right? There are some things in life that you're going to have to realize there are non-negotiables. Simply meaning that doesn't matter what comes along in your life, you got to make a decision that this thing ain't moving. This thing is going to stay consistent no matter what comes along, no matter how attractive the girl or the guy is, no matter what shift at work you're going to get, no matter what opportunity comes your way, that you will make a decision that things like youth, 100%, because that's where your friends are, that's where connection is, that's where you're going to help grow, and church. And church is a great place because you actually get to be a part of it. You don't just rock up just to take, you actually rock up to give. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm just talking about your finances, I'm talking about of your time, your talent, all that stuff. Is you get to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself. And the thing that I love is that if Jesus did it for you and he wants to do it for others, because he has, is what a privilege it is to be a working part of seeing other people fall in love with Jesus. How practical is it to invite your friend to youth?
Yeah.
But do you think they're going to rock up if you don't go? Of course not. You're going to be the one who's you're the representative, remember, the ambassador. That's you. So we get to do that together. It's essential, bro. It's essential for them to be at youth and church right now, especially on the online settings.
Yeah. Yeah, so good. Yeah, definitely. We're going to get into there's a ton of questions that have filled in the Slido all of a sudden. 12 questions we've got. We'll just answer a couple of the top ones. So if you guys can like your favorite comments or questions.
Hey, I'm going to put a disclaimer straight up, Ethan.
Yeah.
I'm not as brilliant as Pastor Rowe. Pastor Rowe would be able to answer every one of these, and he'd give you the biblical reference and the doctrine and the background and the YouTube website. He is amazing. So just go easy on me, guys. All right? Cool? Do that?
Yeah. All right. Do you want to choose any of these questions?
No, surprise me.
All right. Let me just have a quick look at these.
Hey, guys, don't go quiet in the chat. The Insta chat. I want to see this thing blow up. Don't go quiet.
Make sure you're still inviting your friends because there's still tons of questions to be answered. All right, we'll just go with the top one. It says, how can we tell in our head if it's God, something we make up, or the devil?
Ooh, that is very, very good. A very simple way. This is gonna. I don't want to. When I say simple, I'm not belittling what happens inside your head. Especially, like I said before, especially in this time right now where the voices seem to speak the loudest on the inside. Very, very easy way to tell if it's God, yourself, or the enemy. The enemy, so the devil, he only points to your past. He'll only point at the things you've done, the things you've said, the things, because he's only lived in that space. The devil doesn't actually know what you're currently thinking, and he doesn't know your future. The problem is what we do is we let it come out of our mouth, and then he grabs a hold of it, and then he uses it against us, right? So the devil always points back to your past, who you were, what you did, what you said, all that sort of stuff. When it's yourself, it's very evident. You're often thinking about your present. You're often thinking about where you're at now, how you're feeling, how you're thinking, what you've done, what you've said currently, or the last 5 minutes. It's something that's happening in very close proximity. But God, he's only concerned about taking you forward. He's only concerned about your future. The Bible actually says that as far as the east is from the west, he has removed your sin. In other words, the very thing that was separating you from him, and he remembers it no more. So when it comes to your mess, how cool is this? God's got amnesia. He doesn't remember your mess because that's what Jesus paid the price for on the cross. So the enemy will point to your past. God will always point to your future. You're going to make the decision which one you're going to listen to.
Wow, so good. All right, we've got another one from Anonymous saying...
Aren't they all anonymous?
They're all anonymous. I was just making a joke. Says, how do you block out the pressure to go against the Lord or your beliefs?
Oh, that is a great question. I'm sure many of you right now, I'm not going to go into this, but there is so much political stuff going on right now, and it doesn't matter what you're following, whether it's right here in Australia, whether it's overseas. There are so many things that you're following. So I won't name a particular topic at the moment, but have you noticed that, especially lately, people are very vocal on social media? So whatever the topic may be, maybe it's political events, maybe it's a social rights movement, whatever it may be, but here's the thing. Many of those people who are being extremely vocal on social media, aren't necessarily doing anything to contribute to change. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
So here's what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, if you don't know, and I'm going to give you a kind of a biblical story here just to kind of make it clear, is there's 3 guys and their name was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, right? And there's a time in scripture where the king at the time made this giant statue, and he made a declaration that as that statue passed, anyone who didn't bow down to it was actually going to get thrown into a furnace. They were going to die via fire. And these 3 guys were so committed to God that they refused to bow down. And here's the point I'm trying to make. So as this statue goes past, they stay straight up, and they were literally going to get thrown into the fire, and they do. That's the back end of the story. But here's the point I'm trying to make. If you don't know what you stand for, you'll bow down to anything.
Wow.
So if you don't know what you believe, if you don't know what you value, if you don't know, like if someone was, I'm telling you right now, I'm not a violent guy. I'm the peacemaker. But if someone was literally accusing and bagging my wife, mate, they better get their jaw ready, because I'm going to punch them in the face. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that, like, if you don't know what you value and what you stand for, you'll bow down to anything. So you got to have an understanding of what you believe.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so good. The next one we've got Anonymous again. Dang.
Oh, gosh.
With the questions.
Anonymous, you're amazing.
How do you block out the pressure? Oh, we just answered that one.
Yeah, that's all right.
Next, this one is, how do we go from being a lukewarm Christian to being on fire for God?
Ooh, I like that. Well, couple things here. Always that term lukewarm is always very interesting. Is very interesting. A couple of things that I would encourage you with. I always love using stories. I always love using analogies and pictures, because that's the way I learn, and that's what Jesus did. Jesus used stories, right? So if you think of a fire, how many of you in the chat? How many of you love campfires? How many of you love going on a good camp? And it's there's something mystical about the fire. Would you agree, Ethan?
Yeah, 100%.
Something like, I love sitting around there, good old marshmallows, s'mores. Come on, who loves s'mores? S'mores have changed my life, right? Now, if you were sitting around that campfire and you literally took a log from that campfire and you left it alone by itself. Now, for a little while, based on its own capacity, it could actually continue to burn, right? But eventually, because it's not congregating Come on, Ethan, help me here.
Yeah.
Because it's not with, because it's not belonging, because it's not together with the body of other logs, and it's not getting the oxygen it needs, it's not getting the heat that it needs, and it's not getting the fuel, because it's not rubbing up against the other logs, eventually it will burn out. And whoever put the question in there, Mr. or Mrs. Anonymous, it becomes what we call lukewarm. So what's one of the keys? Connection.
Right.
Because if you think about it, Ethan, who is challenging you to become more like Jesus? If you're just doing your own thing, running your own race, but no one is there partnering with you, how do you think an athlete makes it to the Olympics?
Yeah.
They've got a coach. A coach takes them there. That's why, guys, you got to honor and value your youth leaders. Honor Pastor Rowe, the guys and girls who God has placed in your world to help you if you feel like you're lukewarm, the beautiful thing is partnership will help you take you to that next level.
Yeah, definitely.
Get a coach around you, one of your youth leaders or Pastor Rowe, whoever it may be, so that you can move forward in your walk with God.
Yeah, so good. I know I've been getting I've had the amazing privilege to have a youth leader that's like mentored me up till I was like 18. So he was amazing for me just to be able to grow into that and step into the next time of my life.
So good, bro. So good.
Next question says we might do like one question.
Yeah, go for it. Let me guess. Is it from Anonymous?
Actually, yeah, it is from Anonymous. Yeah. All right. It says, how do we tell people about God even though they don't want to believe it?
Oh, I like that. Awesome. Tip number 1. Any of you know what this book is? Have a guess what this book might be. Just guess. Ethan, help him out. What do you think it is?
Maybe the Big Brown Book.
Yeah. What do you think it is?
The Bible.
Do you think it's the Bible?
Maybe.
And the guys in the chat, what do you think it is? Do you think it's a newspaper? Do you think it's a comic? Come on, what is it? Help me out.
Maybe like the Marvel series.
I am not going to continue till something. Oh, again, we've got a few here. A few more comments. Come on, hook me up. What is it? Oh, I'm getting the Bible. Anything else? Yeah,
A couple of Bibles.
Ding, 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 ding. You guys are the winners. It is the Bible. Now, here's the reality, right? New King James. I like that. Someone put King James. It's the New King James. I like it. Good guess, though. Good guess. But here's the thing. Many of your friends who currently don't know Jesus may currently have never or may never pick up this book. But guess what? Guess what they will read? Your life.
Wow.
They will look how you represent this author. When they're looking at your life, so you're a Christian. So then why do you gossip? You're a Christian. So why are you bagging other people? You're a Christian. So why are you angry all the time? Now, I'm not saying for a second that any of you young people are these type of people. But if our life and perfection is not the prerequisite, this is the thing. Some of you need to write this down in the chat. Jesus is not looking for perfection.
Yeah.
He is looking for permission.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that really slow so every single one of you can get this. This is a key if you want your friends to experience Jesus. Jesus is not looking for perfection. If that were the case, none of us would make the cut. He is looking for permission. What does that mean? Would you put up your hand for him in your school? Would you put up your hand for him in your footy club? I get it, you can't be there at the moment. Would you put up your hand for him in your social circles, on your Facebook pages, on your Insta? Would you put your hand up to him just saying, hey, I'll represent you? That doesn't mean now plastering your social media platforms with scripture. Just live the lifestyle.
Yeah. Yeah, so good.
But here's the key, Ethan. You can't live for him if you don't invest time with him.
Yeah.
Because then how do you know what to be like?
Exactly.
It goes hand in hand.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I hope you guys really got something out of all these questions and all these answers. I definitely did. Just going into this time, it's going to be a hard one again in lockdown, but hopefully you guys can grab Derek's wisdom from tonight and incorporate that into your own time in lockdown. there's going to be a couple more nights like this throughout the term. So it's going to be a good time at youth groups. So youth groups always a place where you guys can come in and connect with each other. So we're offering up that space to you to do so. So if you're keen on this term, put in the chat. And we're gonna head up into our vibe calls right now just to check in with all you guys. So yeah.
So good.
Thanks so much, Derek, for coming in.
You guys are absolutely incredible. Honored to be with you guys. Take care of yourselves. Hey, and make sure, fight for connection and fight for your conversation. God bless you guys. Peace.
Thanks, Derek.